We are live here from Danny Durham Field for the Harris County homecoming against Griffin. It's high school game day. Thrift Behringer alongside my partner, Rick Beach. How are you, Rick?
Good. Up top of the bird's nest today for the show.
But now you actually get to see right behind us the beautiful practice facility. I mean, that thing is absolutely nice. It's used for all sports. I mean, if you walk in there, it has definitely helped elevate all the sports around here in Harris County. So let's go ahead and talk about it. We're 5-1 on the season, Harris County is. This is homecoming. What's your overall feel about the Tigers so far this season, Rick?
You know, the start was a little bit more surprising for people. Just coming off a big year last season, not really common for Harris County, had the back-to-back big years. But you knew, the regime's different. Things are a little different up here now. And the way Harris County came out the gate swinging, more power football.
Right.
Didn't miss a beat from last year. And kind of being where you thought they would be in a sense. Everything's ahead of them for the region. You still got Central Carroll. You still got Stars Mill.
Yep.
But before that, you got to go through Griffin, who is, historically been one of the powerhouse teams in the state.
Yeah, and obviously they're having a little bit of a down year this year, but you know this as good as anyone. You overlook an opponent to think about next week, undefeated Stars Mills. That's when you can get upset. And I know Tommy Watts has been preaching to his team to not do that. We got a quadruple header. 4 games we're doing again tonight. Again, you can call us crazy, but this is what we do on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. 7 o'clock, Carver Shaw, Richard Holgers, Mike Peacock will be on the call for that. 7:30, Calvary at Pacelli at Calvary, excuse me. That's the first time those two schools have faced off ever in football. So looking forward to seeing that. Rex Castillo at 7:30, Rick. Then at 7:30, right here on Danny Durham Field, Griffin at Harris County. And at 8 o'clock, it's Glenwood and Randolph County. For Glenwood and Harris County, both of them are having their homecoming tonight, and they would love nothing more than to continue their winning ways, especially at home. So we're going to break down those games here in just a second. Also, we got a special guest picker. He did a pretty good job last year when he came on. He's a flag football coach who created a dominant program here at Harris County. It's Zach Moss. Rick Beach will be interviewing him here in the second segment, and then he's going to be our guest picker in the third segment. And we got some big games we're going to be picking, so I can't wait to do that. All right, let's go ahead and get into the games that we are actually doing. Let's start with Carver and Shaw. Shaw got a big win last week against Columbus. They're 3-3 on the season right now. They take on probably the best team in Columbus, which is Carver, who beat Northside.
Right.
The only loss is to this Harris County team by 9. They are right now ranked number 2 in the entire 2A state. What's your expectations with Carver Shaw? And if Shaw's going to get the upset, what do they got to do, Rick?
Well, I mean, any upset, if you want to have it, you got to force turnovers, then not turn it over yourself. So that's what Shaw has to do. But for Shaw, this game is super important to keep it close.
Right.
Number 1, for your confidence. For 2, to get that 3 or 4 seed, points scored, points against, go into it. And we saw him score that late touchdown against Hardaway, that game we did on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Right.
How important that could be. And if you're going to be in a battle, you can't get blown out by Carver, then try to get in on points scored later down the road.
Exactly. Aaron Grant's got to continue his winning ways as a quarterback that obviously 100 yards rushing. He's hard to bring down. He has the touch passes, sincere forward. They're going to need that offense to have time of possession, keep out of Carver's hands, and not get pushed around.
Yeah, Shaw's been the surprise on this side of the river.
100%, man. And that's, again, a credit to and we're actually going to have someone walk by right now. Go ahead, man. You can walk by. Oh, they're actually getting equipment up here. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
My name is Quinteria Perry, and this is my CVCC story. I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in medical assistant, and I received my certification from CVCC. The training that I got from CVC and being prepared to come and do clinicals helped tremendously. I started looking at scholarships, and the Ambassador Scholarship was interesting to me because you did events to earn your scholarship and you meet people. My favorite part about my job is meeting patients every day. They will crack me up every day. They make my day better. I would recommend CVCC to anyone that asks because of the scholarships, the teachers, the small stuff that you can't get at a university. They actually take the time out for each student.
Football is back, and the only thing that makes it better is some delicious food. from Zaxby's. They're a proud sponsor of Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And I can tell you that everyone on this team loves their chicken. Get all the favorites, such as their signature chicken sandwich, or try the new chicken finger tacos with your favorite drink. From amazing salads, wings, chicken fingers, and some of the best drinks around, there isn't a better way to enjoy our broadcast without getting some fantastic meals from Zaxby's. Check out the two here in Phoenix City, one off Crawford Road and the other on US 80. Thank you again to Zaxby's for sponsoring Georgia-Alabama Sports Live, and make sure you call them for all your catering and tailgating needs this football season. Welcome back here on top of the roof, press box, right here at Danny Durham Field High School game day. We talked about Carver Shaw. Looking forward to that at 7 o'clock, 7:30, Calvary at Pacelli. Now, Pacelli, they want to go 2-0 in the region for next week's mega matchup against Brookstone. But they got to get through Calvary first, and Calvary would love nothing more than to upset the Pacelli Vikings at home tonight. What do you see happening, man?
Well, I think since Calvary's made this jump, this is their first big home game.
Right.
You're hosting a big boy from GIAA, so you're going to get that feel that something special could happen in that situation, especially Pacelli could be looking ahead. We've seen Calvary has been struggling, but they have big play possibilities. You know, it's one of the situations, you know, get the crowd going, get the away team down in the hole a little bit, and try to build you a lead up. But it's going to be a tough go. We'll get through it in the picks, but that's what you're hoping for if you're Calvary. But this is their first big home game since making this jump.
Pacelli put up 56 points last week. Their offense is rolling right now. I think that's going to continue to work. But if you're Calvary, if you want the upset, obviously you need to be able to move the football early, keep your defense off the field less, and hopefully get some push up front. Maybe that can happen. Coach Brunson's team would love nothing more than the upset. Right here, Griffin, Harris County. We'll save that for the end. I'll let you preview that a little bit before we pick it. And then the final game, Glenwood and Randolph County. I'm doing this one. Both teams are undefeated. Both teams are atop the region. This could decide who's going to be at the leader in the hen house at the end of the year. Huge game, homecoming. If the Gators continue their offense, which is dynamic with Jermaine Brown putting up 150 yards per game on the ground. You got Levi Pender, who's almost at 1,000 yards passing this year, 8 touchdowns. They're efficient. They're one of the best high-flying scoring offenses we have in our area, and I expect great things tonight. But Randolph County, they're undefeated for a reason, and Glenwood knows they're in for a battle. Rick.
Yeah, and you look at this game, what it could set up potentially with the Glenwood win, looking ahead to Lee Scott down the road. So if they could beat this team, set that three-way tie at top of the region, and just monumental matchup coming up in the future. Who would have thought that in year one with Glenwood and Lee Scott making this jump?
Exactly right, and they actually play in 2 weeks. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back from break, Rick Beach is going to sit down with the flag football coach of the Harris County Tigers, Zach Moss. The season's about to start before you know it, literally probably a week away, and we're going to be getting a lot of those games on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And Rick Beach will be looking forward to talking with Zach Moss right after this on High School Game Day.
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC presents a fantastic lineup of popular full-size SUVs and mid-size trucks. Compare side by side. Take your choice from new Chevrolet Tahoes and GMC Yukons, discounted up to $7,000 off. Or Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyons, discounted up to $5,000 off. Experience unmatched durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect vehicle today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown! Woo! Mountain Dew!
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC offers popular full-size trucks with a legacy of strength and durability. Side by side, the new Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra 1500s, discounted up to $13,000 off. Or big, heavy-duty Chevy and GMC 2500s, discounted up to $8,000 off. Rugged durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect truck today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Hey, we're back right here at Tiger Stadium, Danny Durham Field for the Harris County Griffin game, Georgia high school game day. Here with Zach Moss, the head coach of the Harris County flag football team. Program still, year 5 coming up. It's a great program. 2 years ago, state runner-up. Zach, appreciate you coming on the show. Tuesday's game day for y'all. How excited are you?
Man, I'm pumped. Wait almost, 6 to 8 months to get back on the field and get all the girls going again, so I'm excited.
Yeah, the schedule, we were talking before we went on there how your schedule's built in a very tough manner. You got a lot of away games at very high quality opponents. What goes into your mindset creating this schedule?
Man, I feel like the past 4 years we've done well around here and really, took advantage of some of the teams we played and made sure we got some points on the board and got as many as we could. But I feel like it affected us in the playoffs, so I wanted to make the schedule a little bit tougher so when we get to the playoffs and play them better teams, because each year it gets harder and harder, we'll be prepared.
Yeah, so Saturday you had your first scrimmage of the year with the game coming up. What did you learn in that scrimmage that you didn't know of going in?
I knew we were athletic, but man, some of the girls that I really wasn't aware how athletic and how much they have grown just strength-wise. Shout out to KB and D-Rock in weight training. I got to see them live action and how much they've grown from being a freshman to a sophomore or sophomore to junior.
Yeah, obviously every time somebody talks, every time we talk, we have to talk about Cricket Colley, Madeline Colley, your quarterback. But tonight I wanted to get into some players, not her. One in particular, Pearson. Her wide receiver, just, everything Pearson Pettit does. What have you seen from her, talking about growth and from one year to the next that you've seen this year from her?
Man, so Pearson played flag football in middle school for a year in Columbus, and she came up here and didn't play her freshman year, and I talked her into playing last year, man, and ever since then, she's just as addicted to it as anybody I've ever had on the team.
Yeah.
Her hands are probably one of the best in our area. She works every day. When I say every day, even when we don't have practice, I can ride up to the field and I know Pearson's going to be there. I know I keep telling her hard work's going to pay off, and them scholarships are going to start rolling in. I just trust everything that she's learned and done. Last year I kind of threw her in the fire with a brand new team on both sides of the ball, and on one side of the ball on defense at corner, she didn't even practice. So we went and played West Forsyth on GPB, and she showed out, and ever since then, I think she really has grasped what she needs to do, and I know she'll do it this year.
Yeah, you talk about how much she works. I remember seeing her, I was working the volleyball game, and she come out, she had her cleats on, and it's like just nonstop for her. Now on the other side of the ball, I wanted to talk to you about one of the players who seemed to be in a new position after the scrimmage game, Addison Fowler. We saw she ran track, she made it to the state qualifying at that. What have you seen from her this year that you maybe, just kind of get you excited about?
Confidence. She's always been very athletic. She's one of the athletes that she's so athletic she really didn't know how to control her body because she's strong and physical.
Yeah.
If you see her, you would think she could literally probably put pads on and go out there and compete. She is very, very physical, and I finally got her to buy in, I feel like, and she kind of got a little bit more confidence and really is starting to blossom.
Yeah, now who's some of the new faces coming into the season? We have you got 6, 7 freshmen coming in, but you also got some girls that have been around Harris County, been in the athletic program for a while, but this is their first year with flag. Who are some of the new girls that these people need to get ready to watch this year?
Kennedy Miller, she played a little bit for us last year. She was on the team, but she's going to get a big-time role at running back. Also, Kaylee McClung, a soccer girl. She reminds me a lot of a girl we had on that state championship team, Reese Wise, just very fast, can cut on a dime. And I'm ready to see what she can do. And then, we got softball players coming over.
Yeah.
Riley Huckabee, I got her to try out finally. Madeline Carey's coming back. We got some freshmen. I really think overall this might be, from top to bottom, the best athletic team I've ever had.
Yeah, there's athletes up, but even, from age, you look at the senior class, all the way your freshman class, you got Tyler Norman, the freshman, coming in. And I remember right after tryouts, she was talking about, just kind of where she come from at this level and all the different things she does. But talk about her a little bit on what you've seen at her at practice, that blitz position. Man,
it started at tryouts. She kind of, like you said, she came out of nowhere. I know she was on the middle school team, but she's very quiet, so you don't really hear about her a lot. But Man, we put her in that blitz, and that girl is 100% on every play. You know, if I could take a 20 Tyler Normans, I would, because I know by the time she's a senior, she's going to get her feet wet this year. By the time she's a senior, she will be one of the best in the area.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned before to me how she's always at go 100%, but it's easier to pull it back. You can't teach that.
That's right.
You know, it's hard to get somebody to get going. So Tuesday night, it all starts for you right here. A tri-match. We have Heritage and Central Carroll coming up. It's youth night, so all the youth need to come here, check it out. And, you know, it's the fastest growing sport for a reason, and it's super fun. You see Harris County's youth program is blown up.
Yep.
Some of your girls coaching them over there.
Yeah.
So it's a great sport. Come out Tuesday. Begins at 5:30, the first game. I believe that's Harris County and Heritage at 5:30. So check out the tri-match. I think after this, we're about to do the picks when they get going over here. I think they're eating the nerd clusters and ain't gonna hit the button. So that's all we got right now. We're about to take a break. We'll be right back for the picks after this.
My name is Quinteria Perry, and this is my CVCC story. I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in medical assistant, and I received my certification from CVCC. The training that I got from CVC and being prepared to come and do clinicals helped tremendously. I started looking at scholarships, and the ambassador scholarship was interesting to me because you did events to earn your scholarship and you meet people. My favorite part about my job is meeting patients every day. They will crack me up every day. They make my day better. I would recommend CVCC to anyone that asks because of the scholarships, the teachers, the small stuff that you can't get at a university. They actually take the time out for each student.
Football is back, and the only thing that makes it better is some delicious food from Zaxby's. They're a proud sponsor of Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And I can tell you that everyone on this team loves their chicken. Get all the favorites, such as their signature chicken sandwich, or try the new chicken finger tacos with your favorite drink. From amazing salads, wings, chicken fingers, and some of the best drinks around, there isn't a better way to enjoy our broadcast without getting some fantastic meals from Zaxby's. Check out the two here in Phoenix City, one off Crawford Road and the other on US 80. Thank you again to Zaxby's for sponsoring Georgia-Alabama Sports Live, and make sure you call them for all your catering and tailgating needs this football season. Back to high school game day live from Danny Durham Field. It is homecoming there at Behringer Rick Beach and Zach Boss, and it's time to pick some games, gentlemen. And Zach, you actually did a pretty good job last time we were here, so we can see if you can't keep that momentum going here the second time around. All right, let's start with the first game that we actually we'll hold the 4 games that we're doing for the last 4 that we pick. Let's do one of the games that is on here that we're not doing. It's Jordan and Kendrick. Jordan has not won a game in 5 years, gentlemen. I think it changes tonight. I'm picking the upset over Kendrick. I want it bad for Antonio McDaniels. I love Coach Mayo and Kendrick. But Jordan and their program, their players, they need this desperately. And if they're going to get a win, it's going to obviously happen against Kendrick tonight. It's a battle of 2 rivals. I'm going Jordan. Where are you going, alumni man?
I always took Jordan. I take Jordan every time. I'll go with Jordan.
Zach, what about you?
Oh, man. 5 years, that's a long time. You know, I know them kids put in time, so I'm gonna go with Jordan.
How about that? The Jordan Red Jackets get some love on high school game day. Probably, you know what? I'll save that one.
We can't save them all.
I know, I'm right. There's so many good games that are happening tonight. Spencer, Sumter County. Sumter County's undefeated, and they are tied atop the region with Carver. Okay, Sumter County is the only non-Columbus team in that 2A region. So Northside, out of the 8 Muskogee County schools, Northside's in 4A, and the other 7 are all in the same region with Sumter County. Spencer, at Sumter County. Sumter County played Shaw. They only won by 1 point. Shaw could have upset them. I'm taking Spencer Greenways with the upset. I like C.J. Starr, the linebacker, Elijah Fudge, the quarterback. I give me Joe Kegler and the Greenways with the upset on the road at Sumter County, and they are going to be the #2 team in this region. Rick Beach.
Yeah, I take Jordan because I go to Jordan. My dad went to Spencer, so I'm going to take Spencer to go with that, keep the family trend going.
Love it. Zach, what you
Oh,
got?
man, if I went to school in Americus, Sumter County, we played college ball there. So, you know, I've seen that program. They weren't very good then, and they've grown a lot, and I'm going to go with Sumter County.
Okay, Sumter County, and if they win, coming up in 2 weeks, undefeated Sumter County and Carver. So that game circling on the calendar October the 17th. It's probably the game of the entire state of Alabama. It's the game of our area. We're not able to do it, but it's Central and Auburn. It's #1 Central. It's #2 Auburn. Central defending state champions. Auburn has dominated everybody they've had in front of them. If you're asking me my honest opinion, I think Auburn has looked more consistent than Central has to start the year. It is at Central. I'm going to say the Red Devils stay undefeated, and they take down Auburn in a very tightly contested game. Rick Beach.
I think this is step one of a team in red and black dominating Auburn. Tonight, Central dominates Auburn. Then tomorrow it keeps going with Georgia over Auburn.
I love how you had to get that shout out in.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but I am an Auburn fan. But Central, you know, I can't go against them. They've been pretty dominant the past couple years.
Yep.
So I'm going to take Central.
Yep, and that's again 8 o'clock, Garrett Harrison Stadium. You can also listen to it on the radio, 92.1 Smooth R&B. That's where you listen to the Sports Visions radio show every Monday and Thursday. All right, the 4 games that we're doing, we got Shaw at Carver. I think Shaw keeps this close, gentlemen, but I think Carver right now is playing their best football, and I think they win this game 28-14. Close in the first half, but Carver continues their winning ways. Give me the Tigers. Rick.
Yeah, I think the loss up here that Carver had, you know, people kind of question their toughness,
Right.
their physicality. They've answered that with the north side. They seem to get things back on track. It just keeps on rolling tonight.
Yeah, if I had to pick, definitely Carver, but it is good to see Shaw kind of getting back on track like they were when I was in high school with Cam Greathouse. I mean, they were dominant. So.
Dominant. They used to call them Shaw U, man.
Yeah.
You remember how good they were back in the day. Johnny Gardner's got them in the right track. Pacelli at Calvary, this would be a huge upset if it does happen. I'm being honest with you. It would be a mega upset. I don't see it happening. But I will tell you, I like the way Coach Brunson's team competes every week. They still are trying to get better. Obviously, it's not the outcomes they wanted to in year one of the GIAA, but they're establishing a culture. I honestly think that it's going to be a lot closer than people think, but in the end, Pacelli's going to run away with it. They just got too much up front, and I think they win this one like 35-14, 35-7. But I'm going to take the Vikings, but I like the competitive effort from Calvary tonight.
Yeah, I want to see Calvary keep it close at halftime. If they could do that, I think that's
it's a win.
It's a win for them to get them moving forward, but I don't think at the end of the day it's going to be a close game at all.
Nah, I agree. Coach Jones, I know how he coaches. It's an old school dude, and he's going to have Pacelli ready.
Yeah, and you know he wants to bring another state championship. Randolph County at Glenwood, it's our game of the week. Undefeated Randolph County, undefeated Glenwood. I'm going Gators. I think Coach Nelson's team with Levi Pender, Jermaine Brown, Mekhi Simpson, the running back duo, and then Mason McCrane on the outside, the defense makes enough stops. I think it's going to be a back and forth, 35-28, 31-24, around there. Give me the Gators over Randolph County.
Yeah, I think absolutely they win this game, and this sets up that huge matchup on the 17th with Lee Scott, which that rivalry is always good, but it's going to be on another level this year.
Yeah.
So I think they win this game and set that game up later.
Yeah, I don't know much about Randolph County's football team, but I know they probably got to have some dudes on that team. Got to be some athletes. But like you said, it's hard to go against Glenwood. They stay pretty consistent on being a winning team over there. So.
Yeah. Gators go to 6-0, and the final one, Griffin at Harris County. It's homecoming. Griffin, known to be a powerhouse, obviously having a down year this year. Rick, I'm obviously going Tigers. They're going 6-1, and they're on their way to winning another region, in my opinion. But Rick Beach, give me how you think the game could break down tonight against Griffin.
Well, I think it just goes like the last couple of years we've seen from Harris County since that long winning streak last year. Physicality, punching somebody in the mouth,
right?
Leaning on somebody. It'll be a low-scoring game at halftime like they all are. Then by the fourth quarter, Harris County just impose their will, get a couple late touchdowns, and win this game. For Harris County, if you score in the 20s, it seems like that's a high-scoring game. But they're the only team I've seen beat somebody by 6 points and blow them out, had that blowout feel.
Right.
So I think they just keep rolling tonight.
Yeah, you know I'm picking them. Obviously,
My name is Quinteria Pick.
pick against them, but I have been. It's been nice, you know, after losing them people last year, for the O-line to come back still as strong. You know, Trotter, they help him a lot being the first-year quarterback. So I'm definitely going to go with them. Rand's going to make a couple big-time plays, and we're going to take it to the house.
I think the same thing, guys, and I think probably the most competitive part of this game is who's going to win the Alex Quinney All-State Good Hands Player of the Game. Is it going to be Bishop? Is it going to be Rand? Christian Olsen? Bishop's already got 2. He says he's trying to get 3, right?
It's Bishop versus
Who's
the
going to
field.
end up with the most for Harris County? That's the way I think that this game's going to play
and
out,
I get
man.
Bishop. He loves it.
Yeah, no, he does.
He said when Rand got that first one, I'm going to get me one. And he's gotten 2 since then. And he beams up when you show him that plaque. So it shows Alex, these things mean the world to these kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we appreciate Alex Quinney. We appreciate Rick Knight. We also appreciate our presenting sponsor for high school game day, Gordy Eye Care, CVCC, Glenn Smith Chevrolet, GMC, and of course, Pepsi. As you see all the wonderful products right here. All right, we're about 45 minutes from Carver Shaw. Then we got Harris County Griffin, Pacelli Calvary, and 8 o'clock Glenwood, Randolph County. From Zach Moss, Rick Beach, I'm Thurp Behringer saying thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Georgia Alabama Sports Live is proud to partner with one of our presenting sponsors, Buffalo Rock. And without this partnership, it would be hard to be able to live stream all the different sporting events at high schools, colleges, and local professional teams every single week like we do. So we thank Buffalo Rock for their support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And next time you're watching a Georgia Alabama Sports Live broadcast, make sure you're drinking a nice, refreshing Pepsi. Delicious. Thank you to Buffalo Rock and Pepsi.